Okay, so it says we're live. Just FYI, I'm going into Instagram right now to update it. So we are live. If you want to go ahead and start while I take care of all the admin stuff over here, Sonia.
Sure. Hiya, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Happy new day.
Yes,
Welcome to our Feral Goddess podcast.
that's right.
And yes, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to share with everyone and go with the flow. See what magic can transpire through this beautiful time together.
Yes, I'm all about the magic.
Yes.
I'm going in now and tagging you just so you know if I can. So sorry, this is we're trying to work out our kinks, guys. On this,
Yes,
well, we're
and
trying to do something.
if you could please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, that would be amazing. So then we could also do lives on there, but you have to have a certain amount of followers.
That's right. And
As
our
if
pages
they don't trust us.
they don't trust us yet.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know who's
That's right.
just joined the podcast. Yeah.
That's right. So, okay. So, hi, my name is Inanna, and I am the co host with Sonia for the Feral Goddess podcast. And we're really happy to be here. And this is our first one. So, I'm busy trying to work out all of the things with the internet and the streaming while she's kind of taking the lead here. But this will be soon on our YouTube, which is Feral. Everything's under the same handle, Feral Goddess Podcast, and it will be YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Did I cover them all?
Yes, I
Okay,
think
great.
so.
Okay, great. So, and this is our first official podcast, and we just wanted to talk a little bit about how we got to be here.
Oh, what a journey, right? A pilgrimage, if you will.
You are correct. It's been a journey.
Yes.
That is correct. Yes. Well, do you want to go first?
Sure.
Yeah. You can do that while I check on all of our
All right.
postings.
So I am Sonia, and yeah, I am married 33 years. I have two boys in their early 30s, and 26 and 32. And recently, I decided to leave my marriage. We were both really unhappy. We had, uh, yeah, it had been a long time. I think in a long relationship, sometimes it's so easy to not look at yourself and to just automatically blame the other person. And at some point, I just decided to take radical responsibility for my own self. You see, it's a relationship, it's a two-way street. It's not like, oh, he did this and he did that. It's both of us. And I realized that I had a lot of attachment that, maybe, we don't realize our attachment. And I was holding on for dear life.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't like someone to hold on to me for dear life. So that can be, yeah, struggle. And yeah, so I packed a bag. Someone offered me to come work at a retreat in Costa Rica in January of this year. And so I bought a one-way ticket and I packed a carry-on and I left my home and everything. Uh, and came to Costa Rica with a hundred
Where you are
dollars in
now.
my wallet. Where I
Where you
am
are
right
now.
now, yeah, in this beautiful. I'm in the mountains. It's
Oh,
raining today, but I mean, it's
mm,
magical. I love the way Costa Rica has called me and asked me to show up here, and yeah, I get to follow the breadcrumbs and follow my path, whatever that is, and I don't really I don't know what's going to happen in my relationship. My husband had an opportunity to go to Thailand and Vietnam, and Why not? I hope that it treats him well. And here's the thing. I want to see him happy regardless of me. And that's like that's unconditional love. That's love.
That
That's
is love.
agape. Yeah.
Yeah, that is agape.
Regardless of you. And when I got to that point, it's beautiful. Is it hard? Hell yeah. Do I struggle? The days have their ups and downs. Like we text in the morning, some of my girlfriends, and like, how's it going? Oh, today's a really good day, but I could text you in 4 hours and be like spiraling down the hill. It's like up and down. It's like the ocean, never stops moving and flowing. So it is a very unique experience. I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I don't know if anyone really does. And it's beautiful to let go of attachment and think that I can control everything and to find out who I am, after all this time. And I wouldn't say it was just the marriage that I didn't know who I was. That started like probably in the teenage years
Yeah.
of being pushed and pulled and maybe well, not maybe, I had a really horrible relationship at 14 years old that was very abusive. So yeah, I went into my marriage broken.
Right.
And when two people are broken, these things can occur. And it's also like what happened with our parents and all the things, the society, the programming, the conditioning. In my mind, I had a mantra like, I'll never be able to do it on my own. I'll never be able to do it by myself. And when I could finally break that almost like a generational curse,
Right.
if you will, yeah,
Yeah.
when I could see through the other side. Like I could see through the fear. I had to move through the fear. Like the fear is always going to be there. The fear was right now in the beginning of this when you asked me to go first. I was like, okay. Like, yeah, life is fucking scary.
It can definitely be scary. Thank you for going first so I can set up the the streaming.
Yeah, and the fear is always there. So how do we move through? It's just false emotion appearing real. And in the fear, I lived very frozen. Even
Yeah.
though I was like going on a spiritual journey and being a yoga teacher, yeah, we all have our own lives. We're all people. We're just human having a human existence.
Right.
Um, so yeah, that's kind of a little bit of my path, my journey. I'm here in Costa Rica and dog sitting, and I don't know. Some things are coming up to go back to LA. I don't know. Yeah, but here's the thing. I get to. I
That's right.
get to.
You get to.
So,
You get to.
and yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And our goal, Sonia and I both found ourselves suddenly single. I like that sudden. If anyone remembers like the salad commercial from like the 80s and 90s, suddenly salad, that's what I think of every time I say it. Suddenly single. I don't think either one of us thought we would be single, let alone single in life 2.0. I'm single at 50, age 50. That was not in my bingo card.
Oh,
Wasn't what I,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm 56, and I mean, we had all the plans to retire and do all the things that you're supposed
mhm,
to do.
yeah,
We did all the things. We had the children, we had the house with the concrete wall, not the white picket fence, but still, like you do all those things, right? And then you realize somewhere in there that like you're still not happy. You're still
yeah,
searching, you're still trying to find. And we do only have one life to live. We get so caught up in so many restraints. And yeah, we've got to live. Like nobody, the person who died today had plans for today.
right.
Nobody knows their day. It doesn't matter about the age, but as you get older, like you want to move it or lose it. Like get a move on.
You want to live, you want to be happy.
You want to live, you want to be happy. Things are more important. like the simple things, the small things are a little more important. You start to slow down when you come into your 50s, and you're bringing in this grandmother wisdom. Like, you are a wisdom keeper, and yeah, you're here to show up for others so we
Mm,
can be the beacon and be the lighthouse and light up the path for others
yeah, wisdom keeper. I like that.
to live their lives and to move forward so much, especially, like, I can only speak for women because I'm a woman, right? So many women, we're just coming into ourselves right now, like we haven't been allowed, or we've gotten paid less, or it's been a real struggle to climb the ladder, all the things. And I think finally we're like, forget all that, let's just come into our divine feminine for who we are.
That's right.
And that's so important. And for the men too, men have struggled too. They haven't been allowed to show their emotions and their feelings properly.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm just trying to find my way, and I believe that when you do this work, it heals your family. I believe it heals 7 generations that come before you and 7 generations that will come after you. And it doesn't mean it's easy, and it doesn't mean you don't struggle, but it I believe that this is going to help my family. I believe this is going to change things and shift things, and maybe my boys won't settle for a relationship where they're just like bickering and arguing and fighting, you know?
Yes, absolutely. And I believe the same thing. And as you know, we do this podcast every week and share our stories. I'll say my story is very different than Sonia's. So, um, I was with my ex from the time I was 14. He was, the first and only person at that point I'd ever kissed, been with. It was, I really thought it was forever. I would have promised you it was forever because, the love was there and the commitment was there. But in 2018, he experienced a very severe traumatic brain injury. And the best way I can describe it is the person who he was died that day. And then I spent the next 7 years trying to save a stranger. And we'll talk more
Mm,
dive this later, but there were 3 years of horrific daily abuse from a raging brain, where he could not control his anger, his rage. There was violence. There was a medical system that had failed him, and my desire to try to save him created a pretty dangerous recipe. And so it was that my story wasn't, that it was almost closer to what I would say is the death of a spouse, even though there's still a person to make sure stays safe, and I did promise to make sure he has care for the rest of his life. It's not like a typical divorce. It's not that way. We have 3 biological daughters and 1 bonus daughter. And the thing I realized when I began this part of my journey was I had only really taught, especially the 3 biological daughters, sacrifice and martyrdom. I hadn't taught them being empowered or choosing
mm,
themselves or not tolerating abuse. And that's something that was very hard, and I've worked very hard to own that shit.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
again, my situation's so unusual because we until the day of the TBI, my spouse was one person and then got hit in the head, and who he was, the person died, became a different person. There was no Most people who end up in an abusive relationship, there's a lead up, right? Something happens. It just he became a different person in a split second, and there wasn't time to adapt. And because you had a life threatening injury, there wasn't time to think. And so my situation was very different, and I hope that I can help others who are in caregiver situations, particularly those with traumatic brain injuries, that if you need to leave, that you find the courage to leave. If you need to leave,
Yes.
that you leave, that you choose yourself, and not say because it is from a TBI or because it is from this injury or illness, it's not their fault, and therefore you have to stay. And that's what I'll be focusing on, sharing as part of this podcast, the things I learned, the awarenesses I have, what I taught my daughters that I wish I hadn't, and then what I'm teaching them now that I'm choosing.
Yeah, on that note, I mean, even though our situations are the same, I would say like my boys don't know this mom. My children don't. Yeah, I
Right.
didn't. I was when I was raising my kids, I was in it, and I was a whole different person. So it takes a minute for other people to catch on. People love to
It
have
does
a
take a minute.
story. Yeah,
Yep.
people love to have a story, and then you're changing the story, and how dare you, you know? So, I mean, my boys definitely are support um me leaving. Like they supported me being in Costa Rica to take this time for healing. But yeah, there's a disconnection a little there. They don't. I didn't start this like path. I started like 15 years ago, let's say, and so slow. And then they were growing up and moving out of the house when I was really in it. So yeah,
Right.
they don't. And it can be frightening for other people when you want to change the story, when you want to do something new that someone's never done before. You get a lot of, you can't do that. That
Right.
was one of the things with the one-way ticket. They're like, you can't do that. And also, I don't advise anybody to try that, to go to a different country with a one-way ticket. You're not allowed. Don't do it. But because everyone told me not that I couldn't do it, I did it.
You did it, right?
Yeah,
You did
I
it.
did it
Like,
because the more people said like you can't do that, I was like,
yeah.
okay,
My moon
and
my
that's
moon is in Taurus, so I totally get it. Tell me what I can't do. That Taurus moon will kick up and I will just show you it can be done.
yeah, and you get tired of people telling you what you can and can't do. And then I would say too, like it's a big upheaval. So when I get phone calls or people asking what I'm doing, a little bit of time, sometimes, not always, sometimes. I mean, I have very supportive people around me. I'm just saying, sometimes people can, their fears will come up and they will put them on you. Like, what about
1,000%.
your, yeah, what about your kids? Like my 30-year-old and my 26-year-old, what? What about them?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's those are the fears that people put upon us. We have to understand. We have to see that so that we don't accept it. So we
Yep.
say, no, I'm not going to take that's yours. Very much we mirror like
Yes.
all the good, great things that I see in you that are so beautiful you see in me, and that's how we came together, that
That's right.
beauty that we see in each other's the reflection,
Yep.
even though our stories are different. Like I think women need to share their stories because maybe it will help somebody else,
That's
one
right.
person. All it has to do is help one
If
person,
it helps one person, that's it. Mission accomplished, right? If you can help
hmm
one person, inspire one person, uplift one person, or give someone the courage to make a different decision, you've done your job.
yeah, to tell people you are enough and yes you can, and the word impossible actually says I'm possible.
That's right.
And I love when people tell me that's impossible. And I'm like, oh, that means it's possible. It says I'm possible.
That's
I'm
right. It
never,
does say it's possible.
And then our words, our mantras that we go over in our head. Like I said, my mantra was I could never do it alone. I would never be able to. But like I'm doing it. I'm not like I didn't win the lotto, but I'm dog sitting for $120 for the week. Like, yeah, it's not. It's not. Oh,
Well,
it
we manifest opportunities. We manifest what we need.
yeah.
We
And the
create what we need.
opportunities, yeah, they're beautiful. They're
Yeah.
beautiful. I love them all. And also, when you make plans to do something like this, like go to another country and live, you can make all the plans you like, but when you get there, probably none of those plans are going to work out. So then you have
Yeah.
to realize that it doesn't always look like what you think it does. And like not everything is what it seems. What am I trying to say? Like, yeah, maybe things are gonna turn out differently. Like just because you have this plan in your head doesn't mean that's the way it's gonna happen. It can happen so differently, or just learning other things. And yeah, I mean, I teach yoga, but I'm dog sitting. And I love it.
Yeah, there you
Whatever
go.
you whatever you do, just be good at it. Like just
Yeah.
enjoy it. It's beautiful to be in the mountains and to
And
be
surrender,
out,
you know,
surrender to what
surrender.
is,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be okay. Like you're gonna live. The 2 weeks before I came to Costa Rica, I would go take a shower in the morning, go teach my class, and then I'd come home and go to bed. I couldn't pack my things. I couldn't do anything. All I could do is lay in bed and cry. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking like, are you even gonna make it? Are you even gonna, And I did. And then I was
Mhm.
frightened. I remember after ceremony, the first ceremony, we were in integration because I came here to work at a retreat with plant medicine.
Yes.
And in integration, I was like, I am frightened. Like I am scared. I didn't even know where I was gonna go after the 2 week retreat.
Right.
Like I didn't have a plan, and also I didn't have a credit card, so I didn't have anything to fall back on, and I didn't have a lot of money. Like I had maybe I could find a room for $32 a night, I think, and with breakfast. That was fucking amazing. Pardon my French,
Mhm.
and yeah, every day I just kept following the breadcrumbs and I lived. I lived. At the end of the retreat, one of the girls said, "Hey, I dog sit at a house in Tamarindo. Come with me there." I went to her place for 2 weeks. I wasn't really enjoying, like, Tamarindo was cool. I enjoyed the girl, her space, and everything,
Mhm.
but it wasn't like I wanted to come back to my community in this other
Right.
part. So then I was like praying and praying, and I get a phone call from one of my friends. So I sat in ceremony with Patrick, and he says, "They're having a ceremony. You should come. He's the best guy. It's so great." And I was like, "That's not going to fit in my budget. Like, I can't even eat right now."
Right.
And he was like, "Okay, well, I've invited so many people, Sonia, and none of them have ever took me up on the opportunity. I'd like to sponsor you to go to sit in ceremony." And that was taking me straight back to Samra. I knew that that was going to take me to where I was supposed to be. I went and sat in ceremony again, not knowing where the heck I'm going to go. I got a hotel for one night because that's all the money I had. And my friends came down and they were like, "Listen, we got one of our friends has a room for rent for you." They go to this strange place and there's this guy and he's like, "Yeah, I got a room on the cliff. It's like community living." And I'm like, fine. And it was more expensive to take the room with the bathroom inside, so I had to get the room that had the bathroom outside. So you had to like walk to the bathroom whether it was raining or whatever. But it was healing. It was beautiful. And he also the first time I came to Costa Rica, he was in my ceremony, this guy who owned this land. So it
Yeah.
was like instantly I felt safe and supported.
I love that.
Instantly I felt like, okay, I could trust to be here. And I sat on the cliff for weeks, weeks. I remember after 12 weeks, I was like, thought I would have been healed by now. It doesn't work like that.
Thought I would have been ascended by now.
Thought I would have been a master by now,
I
yo.
would have been a
Yeah.
master.
Yeah. But
No, you're
no,
just a feral goddess. That's all.
yeah. But yeah, what Costa Rica did is teach me to be feral, to
Yes.
live. And yeah, what a beautiful experience. Did I cry for days on end? Did I do silly things like pretend like I was a tourist when I was just like having the worst anxiety of my life? Yeah, I did. Nobody knows. We walk around like everybody knows everything. Nobody knows. They don't know. They don't know I'm freaking out and I have $1 to my name. Like,
No?
it's okay. It's okay. You live, you step forward, you follow the little breadcrumbs, and the things appear. The jobs appear. My friends that the reason I came to Costa Rica in the first place because I won a retreat, a weekend to sit with plant medicine at this place, Om Jungle Medicine, and I won it from a podcast. Funny enough,
Funny enough.
it was uh, Medicine with the Metals, Mark and Michelle Metal. And then after I was in Costa Rica for a few weeks, they moved to Costa Rica from Florida. And yeah, and I got to meet them in real life, and it felt like I had known them forever. And they are just the kindest, most generous, most beautiful people, and they also helped me. And yeah, I have a beautiful community. And this morning when I woke up, I was like, girl, like look at all these women around you. So many powerful women are around me. In this circle here in Costa Rica, but at home, everywhere
Yeah,
in my community, right? Now here's what I thought to myself is, wow, then that means you are too, Sonia.
that's right.
Yeah, yeah, because why they wouldn't be hanging out if it
No,
wasn't true.
you
And
are a
we're just
reflection of your
reflections
circle.
of each other. Yeah, so that was a beautiful gift and epiphany this new day. And
Mm.
I cried the happy tears. I recommend crying the happy tears. Bring back crying. Like, you know, when was the
Yeah,
last time you cried because you were so happy?
yeah.
Many times in Costa Rica, I cried because I'm so happy. And that's what I think I was searching for.
I get that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
to be able to
happy.
hold those emotions, whether they're, something we're releasing via sadness or whether it's something we're experiencing via joy or happiness, to be able to be authentic in those emotions, to express them freely. That's power.
Yeah, it is to honor myself, first time ever. And to be like, who am I now? What do I like?
Right.
I remember we were on the beach and one of the girls goes, "Oh, I'm gonna go in the water. Are you just like a dip in, come out, or do you like to go for a swim?" And I said to her, "You know what I found out? Like since being here a few weeks, I am a swimmer. I used
Oh,
to go dip in and out, but now I'm like, no, I'm gonna go in and swim and enjoy." And yeah, so every day was finding out what I like
hmm.
and
Okay.
what,
On that, I love that. Finding out what you like. Critical.
yeah, I really didn't know. Honestly, you get so
Yeah.
lost in
Yep. You get
everybody else's
lost.
life.
That's right.
And so I didn't even know what I like anymore. I was just yeah, moving along, not going deep into me. And it is deep work. It is a lot of work. It's not like it's not, but everything is work, right?
Yes.
Like paying your bills is hard, not paying your bills is harder
Right.
because what happens through that. So we just have to work through the hard
Choose your heart in a way, I
and bring
guess.
in, yeah, choose your hard, and then bringing in the gratitude because this is a beautiful life. We're meant to be here. We're meant to live. We're meant to be feral, be free, do what we want to do. When we're creative, it brings us closer to a creator, you
That's
know?
right. Think of creatrix.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back. One of the things I do a lot of my day job, I have a nonprofit, Meet Me in the Quantum Foundation, and I also am a quantum shifting coach and intuitive coach. And I want to go back to something Sonia just said about knowing yourself. And I always reference this movie. It's called Runaway Bride with Julia Roberts and I think it's Richard Gere. Isn't that funny? I can't remember him. I think it's him. Someone will correct me on this, but there's this moment where she's been engaged and she always gets right to the altar and she runs away. And that's the theme of this movie. And so the moment she realizes she does not know herself, right? And Richard Gere's this reporter, and so he's always asking this question, like, how does she like her eggs? How does she like her eggs? And so the guy would always say, like, poached like me, over easy like me, scrambled like me. So this defining moment in the movie, what you see is she makes eggs in every single way and lines up the plates. And she just goes through one by one, tasting all of these eggs because what she wants to know is how she likes her eggs. Because she
Yeah,
doesn't
we
know.
get lost.
We get lost.
We
We
lose
get lost.
ourselves.
Yes. And
And
other people's perceptions of us and us mirroring those around us. Convenience. Oh, well, don't make special eggs for me. I'll just take them however you take them.
yeah, I don't eat
Right?
eggs, but unless they're in
Metaphors.
like
Yeah.
cake batter. But here's the thing: I had to cook eggs every day.
Yeah.
I had to cook the eggs every day for my kids and for my husband, right?
Yeah.
So like, I don't even eat the damn eggs. I can't stand the smell of them.
Right.
But
And
it's
the metaphor is like you get lost. Like you said, you get lost. You get lost in, taking care of everyone else. You get so, lost in putting everyone else's needs above your own that you don't realize how you like your eggs, or you don't realize what it is that you like. You don't realize what it is that you want because you're so lost in, being that person, being the mom or the spouse or the best friend or the coach or the healer or the yoga teacher, that you actually lose sight of who you are. So part of this journey in life 2.0 is really shedding all those old identities.
yeah. I went in my very first ceremony, sitting with the ayahuasca. She showed me
Mm-hmm.
me in this deep, dark ocean, dark gray, not the Caribbean, okay? Like
Okay.
way out in Malibu, this deep, dark ocean. And I was just getting pushed and pulled, push and pull, push
Mm-hmm.
and pull, back and forth, back and forth. And mind you, I didn't understand it at the time, so I was like, what does that mean? And it was driving me crazy, and I didn't want to really do the work to find out what it was. I wanted to know the answer like right now.
Of course, we always do.
Yeah, and ayahuasca, the grandmother was like, yeah, that's not how it works. So you keep going, and yeah, it was a lot of, I realized that, yeah, I was letting the push and pull. I was also giving my energy away, not only in my family,
Mm-hmm.
because anytime you speak about anything, we could speak about just relationships, but it means all relationships. It
Right.
means the ones outside, the ones inside, the ones close to you, all of them. And yeah, I would give my power away. I didn't even know that I was doing it, and it
Right.
left me very depleted.
Mm-hmm.
It left me very sad. It left me very lonely, if you will. So yeah, I am learning to take my power back, like huh. And
Yeah.
it's not overnight,
No.
it's not overnight, and it's a lot of work, and everybody's path is different. For me, well, I didn't really choose the medicine path. It chose me because she just
Mhm.
shows up and like I have to go.
Yeah.
Uh, when 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 she tells you something, like yeah, or the page, the maestro, the teacher, when they ask
Right. Yep.
something of you, you say yes. So yeah, I'm
And spirit
following
speaks, we
this.
respond.
Yeah, and I prayed for community. I prayed for it to be around a circle of powerful women. I prayed to sit in the jungle, in the nature. I prayed to work at places that are farm to table. I prayed for that. When your prayers show up, you better say yes.
You better say yes.
Because we get scared. I can't do that. Like when I won the contest, I can't do that.
Right.
Uh, yeah, I can. And
Yeah, you
that
can.
those are I prayed for these things, so yeah, I want them to show
Yeah.
up, and they're beautiful, and it's not doesn't always look like what we thought it would look like, because great creator, great spirit has an even better plan for us,
Yes.
even bigger plan. Like there's no ceiling on the plan, and
That's right.
we could put ceilings, we could put walls, we sometimes dream very small, depending on how we've been raised, how we grew up.
That's right.
So yeah.
Yeah. And we've
Uh,
been, especially women, we've been taught to dim our lights, to shrink, to hide.
One of the biggest ones is breathing, right? So when you're gonna breathe
Mhm.
properly, you breathe in and out through the nose. And when you breathe in through the nose, the belly
Mhm.
comes out, fills up,
Mhm. Mhm.
impregnates.
Mhm.
So how would you do that breath at work? Because, as women, we got to suck it in. Suck it in. You would never stick out your belly. Like that is like, who does that? But that's how we breathe properly.
Right?
So we're holding our breath. We're not even breathing properly. We're breathing from the chest. We have this short, shallow anxiety breath. And
That's right.
how you're breathing is how you're living your life. So if you're breathing short and shallow, that's how you're living your life. If you're breathing deep, that's how you're living your life.
I'm a big fan of Dr. Joe Dispenza. And so, a lot of what we do before we start meditation is the breath, right? And you're pulling that your cerebral spinal fluid up, and getting all that
Yeah,
energy up. And that's an intense breath, but I'll tell you, it's life-changing for sure. So there'll be people that show up with t-shirts that say, do the fucking breath.
yeah, the
Yes,
breath.
do the breath. How you do one, oops, I almost fell. How you do what? My gosh, my sock is sliding. Oh my God, how funny about that. Okay, my sock was sliding on the floor on a piece of paper. Which there's got to be some kind of metaphor with that, as I almost fell out of my chair.
Slip and
I was
slide.
talking about the breath work, because the breath work is so intense, but how you do, something is how you do everything, how you do anything is how you do everything, how you do one thing is how you do everything, how you do your breath is how you live your life.
It starts with the breath, and it's the prana, the life force. This is how women breathe and have babies.
Yes. Well, and if you
You
think
know,
about
it
also breath is life, but also, if you're, what happens whenever we get anxious? We hold our
we want to
breath.
hold our breath.
We want to hold our breath, right? What happens whenever we get a startle? I went to Vegas a few days ago and went to this haunted museum thing, which doesn't matter, but they had a jump scare, right? And I don't think I could breathe for like a good 3 or 4 minutes after going through that. And it was like I just holding my breath. And as soon as I had to focus on getting that breath, again, getting that breath all the way down and all the way up, all the way down
Yeah,
and all the way up.
because the diaphragm's down here. And if you look at a newborn baby,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
all you see is that belly, or a puppy or a kitten. That
Yep.
belly is pumping, pumping. So
Yep.
the breath is everything. And even the Kundalini, I mean, they call it Kundalini yoga or these Kundalini awakenings. The Kundalini is your breath. Nobody got left out of it. Everybody has
Right.
Kundalini. Everybody has breath,
Yep.
or they're not alive.
Right. Everybody does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody got left out.
No. I
You
love
just
no.
have,
You're not so special that it doesn't apply to you. No,
yeah, you just have to learn to use it and to reprogram ourselves, like I was talking about the generational. Like I didn't know that I was carrying someone generational stuff. Like I didn't even know that was a real thing until now I know, until I've been shown, until I see it and felt it and move through it.
Yeah.
But man, did I stay frozen for a good long time. And I freeze. I freeze. Yeah. Even when I was on the cliff, the freezer would break like every few weeks. And then I went home to LA,
Mm-hmm.
and about a week into it, I don't even think I was there a week. It was a few days. The freezer broke. So, Great Spirit was definitely telling me, like, girl, you're not even going to get ice. You need to thaw out. Stop being frozen. Just thaw out. Clean
Just thought.
up, too.
Yeah.
Because what happens when the freezer defrosts? All the food goes bad. You have a lot of cleaning to do.
Yes.
And you have a lot of waste. You had to throw away a lot of things. They couldn't be used. So it was pretty eye-opening, the freezer. I'm just praying that this girl's poor freezer doesn't break down, but I've been moving.
No, you're moving. You're
I'm
moving
moving. I'm walking the
directions.
dog.
That's
I'm
right.
walking the dog every day. I'm
Yeah.
moving.
You know, I love Louise Hay, and one of the things she says is whenever you're feeling stuck about anything, go clean out something. Clean out your refrigerator, clean out your freezer, clean out your closet, clean out some drawers. Like, get energy around you moving. Because if you can get energy around you moving, you can get energy within you moving.
It switches everything. Sweep the floor, take a shower,
That's
like
right.
cleanse, go jump in the ocean. Every day I would jump in the ocean. Every day I would jump in the ocean. I didn't want to. Some days I didn't want to, but I would just go into it.
Yep.
And to not be so afraid, especially as women, we've been taught to be afraid because the world, yeah, it's been a man's world for a really long time in that we have colonization, we have the patriarchy, and we're moving out of that Piscean age, and that's hence the reason so many podcasts, so much spirituality, so many ascensions, like we are awakening,
Yes.
and the time is now. We chose to be here. We're here for a reason. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. I
happy.
hope
Like
I remember.
even though it's hard and difficult and it doesn't always look like sunshine,
Hmm.
uh, and when I tell my story to people, they always remark. Even the woman I met yesterday, she said, "Yeah, wow, that's the story. Like that took some courage. You're pretty brave. Like, but you're happy. But you seem very happy." I
Yeah.
am. I'm
Yeah.
happy in me,
Yes.
and I know that it's going to heal all those around me. Whatever I fill my cup up is gonna spill out.
That's right.
So you fill it with anger, you fill it with whatever, it's gonna spill out onto all those. You're gonna bleed onto all those around you. So choosing to fill my cup with empathy and love and compassion and learning, not that like I think I'm better. Like some people, when you want to go on these journeys or whatever, like who does she think she is? She thinks she's better than everyone? No, 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 no. I'm just trying to live. Self-care is not selfish. Let
No.
me repeat that. Self-care is not selfish because we get to fill our cup with love, with empathy, with compassion. It can spill out onto all those around us.
That's right.
It's
It
so
absolutely.
important.
Choosing you and
Choose
choosing
you
happiness.
and rise up,
That's
rise
right.
up.
Right. Right. Rising from the ashes. That's
Hmm.
what this is about, rising from the ashes. And neither one of us, imagined ourselves in this place in our lives, but yet we found each other and then decided to create this platform to help inspire and empower other women who might find themselves, and of course men too, who want to, we can only share the female perspective, but we're certainly willing to share it in a way that can help, you know especially men that are part of like the divine masculine rising understand the divine feminine rising.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure. No one,
To
again,
have
no
these
one,
authentic, honest, vulnerable, productive conversations.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. Those, yeah, like when I was on the cliff, another thing would be like, if you go into like, if you go into town, you're gonna see everyone, which is great, or whatever. Even at home in Burbank, like if you go into town, you're gonna see these people, but like I don't have to be seen.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I get to pick and choose like how I'm living my daily life. And that includes like deep conversations. And I think that's one of the reasons that we connected so well together because we were ready to like have the deep conversation, like just go deep. There's no
right.
surface with us.
No
Yeah,
surface.
we're in it. We're just
We're
in
showing up.
it.
We're showing up and knowing that the right, particularly women, but the right people who need this information or want to connect will find it.
Yeah, and
Will find it.
it's the time. It's not the time for like, hi, how are you? Oh, I'm good. Like, Even if you said you're bad, they wouldn't care anyway. You know what I mean? So like, yeah,
Let's have
you can have.
authenticity. It's the rise of authenticity. As you
Mhm.
know, I when I finally let the flames consume me, that is when I resurrected from the ashes. Stop fighting, surrender, letting the transformation happen, going forward with
Surrender.
it. Surrender, yeah.
Surrender to what is. And I burned for so long. Like I was throwing them of those things in the ashes for years and years and years, but also I was too afraid. Like I knew that maybe going down this path was going to change things in my relationship. I almost secretly knew it, and my husband felt it too because he wasn't interested to go down that path. So he felt like if she goes down this path, I'm going to lose her in certain ways. So yeah, we were both knew what
Right.
could possibly happen from it. But again, I think it is the best thing ever. And we get to do whatever we want in our relationships. It doesn't have to look like married, not married, divorced. Like, what is it? It doesn't have to look like that. It can look like whatever you want it to look like.
That's right. Let's throw labels away.
Yeah. And we don't have to rush to like, go get divorced and take all the money and hate that person forever and all the things. Like I'm not doing that. I am not doing that.
No, I'm
I'm
not
not.
either. No, I wish my ex nothing but the best. I even said if you choose that you want to date, I'll be the best wingman in the world. I'll totally talk you up. But because of the limitations from that brain injury, that's very unlikely to happen, but I did mean it.
Yeah,
I absolutely would. Because it's what happened here was an accident that changed everything, an injury that changed everything. But I would still want the absolute best for him. Still the father of my children. I will always want the absolute best for him. But I also
exactly.
want the absolute best for me, and the absolute best for me is not him.
Yeah, and how can we be the healthiest versions of ourselves? And
Right.
sometimes it doesn't look like what everyone else needs it to look like or what everyone else
Right.
thought it should look like. And I don't care. I don't care what you think. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't
Well,
care.
in one of our conversations, you mentioned that you had gotten, some flack from people for leaving your marriage, and that, you had people putting their judgments on you or their fears on you. And I could say I haven't experienced that at all. I don't have one single person in my life that's not rooting for me in this, in life 2.0. So I will say I'm very grateful for that not one person, well, except for, one person has been a little less than supportive, a family member, but that again, that's fear projection, but not one person has suggested to me that this was the wrong decision or a bad decision. I've had nothing but support 100% of the way.
Yeah, I don't think it was like, oh, that's a bad decision. It was just like more like, well, you should make sure you get all that you deserve
Okay.
and or whatever those things
Like your
are.
kids, we were talking earlier about what about your kids? What about your kids? That's what I was referring to.
Yeah, like what about
Yeah,
your kid?
yeah,
What about your cat? Like,
yeah.
okay, what
Right.
about like I'm trying to live, guys. So yeah, it doesn't matter. Those are just projections, and
Yes.
then I was like, whoa, like I would get irritated, but then I was like, wait a minute, that's okay. That's their fear, and they want to, they maybe if I tell this story and share this story, they will have the courage to do the things that they need to do in their life. Not the same way. It does not to look like going to Costa Rica. It could be anything. But then maybe they will have the bravery, the courage to step forward, to jump, and the universe will supply the net. And
That's right.
that's what I
That's
found
right.
for
That's right.
real.
Step.
But
Taking that
man,
leap of faith.
is the leap of faith scary? Yeah, it's like jumping out of an airplane with no parachute. It's frightening as hell. But it's good. It's good.
It is
And
good. I mean, yeah.
I don't know what the outcome is going to look like. And that's like, I'm okay with that,
See, and
you
I'm the
know?
opposite. I know what the outcome is going to look like, and it's going to be me living my best life.
Yeah. I don't know what the
That's the
outcome
only thing I
is.
care about, me living my best life.
It's definitely me living my best life. I don't know what the outcome is, like with my husband or yeah, my family, but like I hope that they see the happiness in me. I hope that they see the
Yeah.
shift and the
Yeah.
change, and I hope that they can change their story and adapt to
Yeah.
what's happening.
It takes a lot of courage to choose yourself because we are taught, especially as women, that, we have to choose everyone else. And we have to, put our children first or our husbands first or our job, whatever it is. And I know that, women particularly are asked to step back. And some of that is religious programming, right? Women should submit to their husbands. And some of that is cultural programming, such as a woman who doesn't put her children first is a bad mother. So we have all of these programs that are running on us 24/7 that tell us what we should look like or how we should
Yeah,
behave
what
or
how
what
we're supposed to,
how we're
and
supposed to. And so taking back that power and having that defining moment where, you say, wait a minute, I have always put everyone else first. I've always put, job first, career first, clients first, children first, husband first, all the first, to be like, wait a minute, I'm going to make a conscious decision, not a default decision, not a decision from a habit or what's familiar or what's known. I'm going to actually step into the unknown and the unfamiliar in this moment, and I'm going to choose me. And I'm going to
yeah,
choose a path that maybe I don't know what it's going to look like. Because guess what? Probably don't know all the steps to this path, but I do know that by choosing me, I'm changing the direction of my life. And I do know that that direction will ultimately, well, it is now already happy. And I'm just going to keep choosing me every single day. And the more I choose me, the more I will hopefully empower and inspire others around me, including my children, including my friends, including my clients, including anyone listening to this, to choose themselves.
yes, because we're taught everything is outside of us. Go buy the new car, you'll feel better. Go
Yeah.
shopping, get the nails, get the, I mean, um, change your body,
Yeah.
change your entire body, get the boob job, get the butt job, get the nose job, all the things, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. But
because
if you choose
we
every
don't
things.
like, what is the world when we're all looking the same? I think the beauty is the people who look different from you. The beauty is the woman with all the freckles. The beauty is that whatever it is, like
That's right.
those little differences are, and so we have to fall in love with ourselves. And
Yes,
when we aren't taught to fall in love with ourselves, it might seem selfish to the outside world. Again, self care is not selfish, and it's okay to fall in love with every cell in your body. Like, because I love myself, it gives me the ability to love those around me.
that's right.
When I don't like myself, I probably don't like the people around me.
That's right.
Yeah, and it is
Oh,
a self journey and a pilgrimage, but you can find community and like minded people, and
yes.
you can find help, and you can find whatever you need.
You can absolutely find whatever you need. And it all starts with that, in my opinion, at least, that simple choice of choosing you. Because the moment you choose you,
Yeah,
you open doors, right? You open
for
doors to
real.
connecting to other people. You open doors to new experiences. You open doors to travel. You open doors to new relationships. You open doors to everything. And it all starts with that one decision to choose you.
Yeah, and in choosing you, you can choose you at any age. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
No,
matter
it
at
doesn't matter.
50, 56. Like, I was with this woman I met yesterday, 65. Such a brilliant inspiration. I want to, she has a story that we could share about her relationship on podcast. And
Okay.
yeah, I want other women to share. And it doesn't have to be like a divorce, just sharing their story, sharing how I'm going to come into my power,
Right.
how I'm going to walk forward in my path, like, cool, like knowing who I am for once, for the first
Right.
time ever.
Right. Well, it is, I mean, it is that. It's know thyself, right? First order of business here is to figure out who you are. Back to the runaway bride with all the eggs. Back to, figuring out what it is that you like. Back to even, dating yourself, going out alone.
Mm-hmm.
Going to a restaurant alone, going to a movie alone, trying to decide what it is that you like whenever your identity has been so impacted by everything around you.
Yeah, and it takes alone time. It takes alone time. You have to go spend time with yourself
Yes, you
because
do.
wherever you go, there you are.
That's right.
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
And I've had that. So, the injury was 7 years ago, and I've lived that alone life for probably at least the last 5 years of that, going alone, to restaurants, or going alone to movies, or going on trips alone, driving trips alone, flying trips alone. And that was very instrumental. I didn't realize what I was doing at the time, though. I thought I was just taking like an emotional mental health break from the caregiving life. I didn't really realize that what I was being led to was that journey of self exploration and discovery to figure out what I liked when I wasn't in the role of wife or mom or coach, right? Or intuitive healer. To go out and have those experiences over the last several years have been very, very healing. And they've been able to help me, especially right now as I'm in this phase, go even further into the unknown. Because
It's
this
so
is my
empowering.
it is so empowering, but this is my first time dating in my life. I'm 50 years old. I was with my ex-spouse from the time I was 14. So I went on my first date at age 50. That's terrifying to
I,
me. A little horrifying, but that's the truth, right? And so I'm glad I had those years of those experiences so that when I did decide to start dating, it was I already kind of knew who I was and what I wanted, even though I had never dated. That's
yeah, you
wild.
had boundaries and you had, like, yeah, you knew what you like, what you didn't like, and so you
Yeah,
knew you could
yeah,
be like, no, that's not going to work. Also, you could trust your gut, your all-knowing intuition, whether it feels good or not. Like this feels good
right.
and this doesn't.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty much how that worked. But I hope that we can continue to even bring on, more women to discuss what life, I call it life 2.0, but it's whatever someone wants to call it, like life 2.0. And that would be, choosing to date or not after a relationship ends, whether that relationship ends through divorce, separation, death. Looking at life 2.0 as far as, are you going to change careers midstream? Because if you're recreating a life, maybe you decide the job that you've had for 30 years isn't for you anymore. Maybe you're going to shed all of those. Even I have a lot of clients right now that are shedding girlfriend relationships. They're like, even my girlfriend relationships are changing. The girlfriends I've been friends with since high school or since college, these are changing. And I think we're in a time of great transformation. And to be afraid of that, would be such a disservice to all of us, that we have to be willing to shed what doesn't work anymore for us, to let it go, to surrender, because greatness is just on the other side of that surrender. Happiness is just on the other side of that surrender. Joy,
Yeah.
love, all of it is just on the other side of that surrender. So we have to be willing to let go of who we're not in order to become who we are.
Ah, I love that. It's so true. It's so true.
So
And
true. Yeah.
it's like debilitating. We're so scared of what's around on the other side, and then we get there and we're like, oh, this isn't so bad. Kind of
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah. Kind of like it. I mean,
And I like
we
it.
we can't imagine how great life can be because we're only going to be able to judge it from the past, right? The only lens we have really is our own personal experiences from the past. And so if you want a different life, you want to move forward in a different way, you have to be willing to let go of that lens of the past and know that life can be so much better, greater, grander, more amazing than you ever could have imagined if you're willing to let go and surrender that lens of the past.
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
that's and that's what we're here about. So we're right on our hour. So we'll go ahead and close. But we're gonna meet every week, and hopefully we'll be able to find some fabulous women to have on to join us from time to time. And we're going to
I got you, ladies. I know who you are.
keep deep diving these experiences, and Sonia will have a lot to add from Costa Rica, where she is, and I'm in LA. And so, also, part of this will also include, coaching for women who find themselves suddenly single or contemplating being suddenly single, so that you can have the support and the encouragement that maybe you need to move forward in your own life. And so, you do now, I'm so sorry, you teach yoga online too, so people could contact you for that or no?
Yes, I do a Sunday Kundalini yoga class at 9 p.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. my time in Costa Rica.
Okay.
And it's on Zoom. It's by donation. I also do a daily morning meditation, and that is six. It's quite early right now. It's 6:30 my time, so that is 5:30. If anybody is an early riser like I am,
Yeah.
just get on Zoom and yeah, everything. Most things I do on Zoom are by donation right now, so take advantage. And if you don't have money, then that's what the point is. Join the class. Like
Okay.
if you do have money, join the class, but it's not about how much you can afford because I wanted to be able to go to anyone
Right.
who needs it. I'm not trying to pinpoint one like geography or whatever the heck. I
Right.
need everybody. So yeah, I also do private sessions. I am a Reiki master. And if you come to Costa Rica, I can do some body work and take you to the jungle for ceremony. But if you're in LA,
To the jungle.
yeah, I'll see you too because I do have some beautiful things that came up and transpired in my last visit.
Mhm.
And I like the contrast of both. I like to live in both spaces. So,
Yes, both spaces are good. Well, you can schedule. I do intuitive work, healing work, coaching work, and my website is meetmeinthequantum.org. So you can schedule there. We do have quantum tech available as well. It is a nonprofit. The nonprofit works with individuals with traumatic brain injuries, PTSD, veterans, those coming out of domestic violence. So everything I do is actually under the nonprofit. But if you go to my Facebook page and follow, I do galleries and lives kind of like this, but it's messages from time to time that are available at no charge, as well as private ones that there is a fee for. So all of that can be found via social media or on my website, meetmeinthequantum.org. So until next week, I guess we'll let everyone go. And I'm so glad that for our first one is done. We did not get signed up for YouTube or Instagram fully, but next week we'll be streaming on both.
yes,
Sound
yes,
good?
thank you. Thank you. And
All
by
right.
the way, yeah, that's how I found you because of the things you do on Facebook like so many
Yep.
years ago. So,
Yep. I got out of
that's
the
a
habit
great
of doing
page.
those lives. So last week I did a live gallery online, which are free. They're completely free. And I think at the time I had about 450 people participate. And so now,
Wow.
yeah, I have about 1,000 messages off of it. So follow me, because if I get free time, I'll just pop on there and do some intuitive messages and answer questions. So if you can't afford a personal session, that's a great way to get a message.
Yes. Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay, thank you all. See you soon. And just remember, you have a feral goddess within you. Let her out.
Yeah, rise up.
Rise up.
Rise